Welcome to another Power Yoga class. My name is Emily. I'll be your guide. Today we're working on strengthening our side body and finding a side plank arm balance. So while we are working towards the arm balance, it is totally optional. I will provide plenty of modifications along the way, so either way, you'll feel nice and challenged. Plain and simple today, you don't need any props for today's practice. Let's go ahead and get after it. Let's meet in extended child's pose. High five your hands towards the top edge of your space. Walk your knees wide, big toes touch. Go ahead and sit your hips towards your heels. Let's take one round of clearing breath. Breathe in through your nose and out through your mouth. Gently sealing your lips. Go ahead and press onto your hands. Lift your head and chest. Lower on to your forearms, stacking your elbows underneath your shoulders. Extend one leg long, followed by the other. Let's meet in Sphinx pose. Taking a deep inhale through your nose, breathing in to your belly and ribs. Now as you exhale, curl onto your toes, lift your hips in line with your shoulders, holding in your forearm plank. Now take an exhale out, pull in at your belly, ribs, and chest. One more count. Inhale, lowering down onto the legs, finding your Sphinx pose. Draw your shoulders down and away from your ears. Inhale here to 1, 2. As you exhale, curl onto your toes. Lift your hips up in line with your shoulders. Finding an exhale here to 3, 2, 1. Top of your next inhale. Lower onto your knees. Untucking your toes, go ahead and lift your hands and fly your hands to the right hand side of your space. You can start to walk your left elbow closer to the front. We'll go ahead and extend our right arm long, TPing onto your fingertips. Bend your right knee. So maybe the knee draws closer to the shoulder. You can find a 90-degree angle or start to scooch the knee past the hip. Maybe start to straighten out your right leg any amount. Can we reach the right hand towards the right leg? We start to find this lift to the heart. Can you look over your right hand side? Take one count of breath. Maybe you start to reach your right fingertips towards your right big toe. Inhale here to 1, 2. Exhale to 3, 2, 1. At the bottom of your exhale, gently send your right hand back to the center. Extend your right leg long. Landing back in your Sphinx pose. This time, we'll lift the hands and plant them towards the left hand side of our space. You can start to walk your right elbow closer to the center. Go ahead and reach your left arm back and bend your left knee. Can you slide your knee in line with your hip and maybe start to straighten out your left leg? We're going to rest the left hand against the left calf. Keep the heart open. Neck stays long. One count of breath. Maybe you start to walk your left fingertips closer to your left big toe. Inhale here to 1, 2. Exhale to 3, 2, and 1. Gently releasing your left hand from your foot. Rebend in your knee. We'll reset back in Sphinx pose. Keep your heart lifted in your Sphinx pose. Reach your arms long towards the front. On your next exhale, bend your elbows. Fly the elbows away from the earth. Lift your toes. Start to bob your legs up and down, finding your locus. Steady inhale through your nose to 1, 2. Open mouth exhale to release. Tap your toes down against the ground. Inhale, thumbs in line with your low ribs. Go ahead and find a cobra pose. Opening your heart towards the front. Maybe you press onto your toenails, hovering your shins and hips for upward dog. As you exhale, Send your hips up and back into downward dog. Finding a triangular shape, you can pedal out one leg and the other, stretching out your legs, lengthening in your spine. Top of your next inhale, go ahead and rock forward, find a bear pose. We'll hover the knees away from the ground. Strong 90-degree bend to your legs. Go ahead and start to bend one elbow and the other. Ball your hand into a fist. And finding this balance between one hand and the other. Twisting open every time as you bend the elbow towards the ribs. Top of your next inhale. Let's go ahead and meet back in our bear pose. As you exhale, send your hips up and back into downward dog again. Again, we're working with balancing right here with one of our hands. And go ahead and sweep your right hand closer to your left foot. So it's finding a diagonal shape. Inhale, hand comes back to down dog position. And exhale, sweep your right hand to your left foot. Maybe the hand starts to lift away from the mat. One more count. Go ahead and exhale. Sweep your right hand towards your left shin. And inhale. Sweep the hand all the way to the back. Top of your next inhale, I want you to look forward and keep a little bend to your knees. Walk your left hand to the top edge of your mat. So in the center of your mat, can you start to lift your right fingertips away from the earth? Maybe you pivot onto the pinky edge of your left foot, finding a side plank pose. This is option 1. Neck stays nice and long. Side body is strong. I want you to feel a line of energy from your left hand all the way up to your right fingertips. If your left wrist is sensitive, you can always lower onto your left knee. One more count of breath. Inhale here to 1, 2. Exhale to 3, 2, 1. Lower your right hand down against the earth. Bring your big toes together to touch. Knees go out wide. We find extended child's pose. You can ball your hands into fists, circling out your wrists. Maybe shake your head from side to side or nod your head up and down. In your extended child's pose, start to spread your fingers, plant your palms down. Inhale, rock forward. Come back to a tabletop pose, curling onto your toes, stacking your knees underneath your hips, and lift your knees. Finding your bear pose, eyes look towards the top edge of your space. Can you start to rock your weight towards one side and the other? Bending your elbow towards the respective rib cage, balling your hands into fists. Feel this opening of the heart as you find this balance on one hand and the other. The next time you inhale, let's bring it all the way back to your bear pose. Back stays flat. Exhale, send your hips up and back for downward dog again. You can pedal out one leg and the other, feeling this stretch to your legs. We start to find stillness in down dog. You can keep a bend to your knees, heels draw closer to the earth. This time around, we're going to sweep the left hand closer to the right foot. So we find that diagonal shape again. You can keep your eyes looking straight down or maybe towards your toes. Inhale, sweeping the left hand back to your down dog position, and exhale, sweeping hand to opposite foot. Let's take one more count. Exhale, sweep your left fingertips towards your right foot. Maybe hand releases or hand rests on the right foot, and bring it all the way back. Top of your next inhale, glide forward. From here, you're going to slide your right hand to the center of your space. Can we find a diagonal shape from our right wrist up to our right shoulder? Can you start to reach your left arm up high? Coming full circle in your side plank pose, notice how different this side may or may not feel from the other. Can you ground down in the index finger and thumb of your right hand? If your right wrist is feeling sensitive, you can always bend your right knee and plant it to the earth. Neck stays long, heels draw closer to the ground. Inhale here to 1, 2, exhale to 3, 2, 1. At the bottom of your exhale, touch both hands down, back into your downward dog position. Send your knees wide, back into extended child's pose. This time around, you can ball our hands back into fists, or maybe lace your fingers and flip your palms towards your head, shaking your hips from side to side. Bring yourself back to stillness in your child's pose. Unlace your fingers and bring your palms to touch down against the mat. And taking an inhale, bend your elbows, sweep your hands to the back, lift your head and chest. Curl onto all 10 of your toes, hover your knees for bear pose. The back stays flat. Inhale here to 1, 2. As you exhale, send your hips up and back into downward dog. You can walk your dog, bending one knee and the other. Can you isolate this movement to just the lower body? So we're pressing into our first 2 fingers, feeling that strength travel up to our arms and shoulders. Eyes can look towards your belly button or your ankles. Now find stillness in your downward dog. If you feel you still need more length for the spine, you can always walk your hands one handprint closer to the front. Inhale, sweep your right leg up high to the sky, 3-legged down dog. As you exhale, bend your knee towards your shoulder, finding your tiger crunch, rocking your weight forward. One more count. Inhale, right leg up high to the sky. And exhale, crunch knee to right shoulder. Look forward, step your right foot forward. Strong 90-degree bend to your right leg. Can you inhale, sweep your right arm to the front, sweeping your left arm to the front as well. Sweep yourself all the way up into crescent warrior. Ball your hands into fists. Draw circles with your wrists. At the top of your next inhale, lace your fingers. Flip your palms up to face the ceiling. Can you start to tap your right toes against the earth? More weight to the right heel. As you exhale, bend the elbows towards your ribs. One more count. Inhale, lace your fingers, flip your palms up to face the ceiling. And exhale. Tap your right toes down to the ground. Here for an inhale, sweep your arms straight up. Exhale, find a warrior 2. Take up space. You are welcome to walk your left foot closer to the backhand side of your space. We ball our hands back into fists. Look over towards your right middle finger. Feel this nice stretch to your wrists and forearms. Top of your next inhale, spread your fingers, find a peaceful warrior. Left fingertips walk closer to your left foot. Feel your right rib cage grow long. As you exhale, find a side angle pose. Right forearm to the thigh. We begin by lifting our left arm straight up. Maybe you start to find a diagonal shape with your left arm. Ribs are strong. Can you lift your right forearm away from your thigh, reaching your hands towards the top? Here for an inhale, ribs are strong. As you exhale, hands into fists, bend your elbows towards your ribs. 2 more counts. Can you keep the torso as still as possible as you move the arms? The funny thing about this movement is that while we are moving the arms, we feel more of the heat build in the core and the ribs as we stay nice and still. Top of your next inhale, reverse your warrior. Start to straighten out your front leg. Find a reverse triangle pose. As you exhale, rebend your front knee. Windmill your hands to frame your right leg. Here in your low lunge, TP onto your fingertips. Can you bring your left fingertips in one line with your right toes? Can you plant your left hand flat on the mat? Inhale, sweep your right arm up high to the sky, finding your easy twist. Neck stays long, so there's a string attached to the top of your head, and your head draws closer to the front. As you exhale, bend your right elbow, hand to the back of your head, close inwards. Inhale, open back up, keep the hand to the back of your head, and exhale. One more count. Inhale, opening your elbow up, opening up in your heart as you find this nice twist, and exhale. Top of your next inhale, sweep your right arm towards the front. You find a strong horizontal line. As you exhale, bend your right elbow in towards your ribs. Two more counts. Inhale, reaching your fingertips to the front, and exhale. One more count, and as you are finishing up with this reach and pull, start to lift and lower your right toes. Now pause right here, tap your right toes down to the ground. You'll bring your left hand closer to the top of your mat in the center of your space. Let's bring the first three fingers of our right hand to wrap against our right big toe. So right leg is feeling nice and warm. Option right here to step your left foot closer to the front. Can we start to find the pinky edge of our left foot? As we do so, we start to dip the knee outwards. Can you start to lift and lower your right foot away from the earth? Maybe we start to press into the index finger and thumb of the left hand and reach our right leg and foot up high, finding a side plank. So this is an option right here. Another option, maybe you plant your foot against your left thigh. One count of breath. Inhale here to 1, 2. Exhale to 3, 2, 1. With control, plant both of your hands to the top edge of your space. Step back into your plank pose. Let's take a vinyasa. You'll glide forward, shoulders in front of the wrists. Exhale, lower onto the knees or hips. Inhale, pull your heart forward. Maybe lift the shins and hips. And exhale, send your hips up and back into downward facing dog. Back into your down dog. Again, can you lift the hips up and back just a bit more? Nice long spine. Inhale, sweep your left leg up high to the sky. Exhale, crunch. Left knee to your chest. Glide forward for Tiger Crunch. One more count. Inhale, left leg up high to the sky. And exhale, crunch, knee to chest. And send your knee to your left shoulder. Look forward, step your left leg forward. From here, you can TP onto your fingertips. Can we start to lift our left arm towards the front? Float it away from the ground. Can you float your right arm away from the ground? Top of your next inhale, lace your fingers, crescent warrior. We lift our arms and head straight up to the sky. Grow tall. Maybe start to tap your left toes against the ground, lifting and lowering them. As you exhale, tapping your left toes down, go ahead and bend your elbows in towards your ribs. Ball your hands into fists. 2 more counts. Inhale, relace your fingers, sweep your palms up to the sky, and exhale, hands into fists, elbows in towards the ribs. 1 more count. Inhale, arms up high, flip the palms up to the sky, and exhale. Here for an inhale, sweep your arms straight up, grow tall, and exhale. Find your warrior 2. Bring your hands back into fists, spin them up and down. Feel this nice stretch to the forearms. You're welcome to walk your feet further apart in Warrior Two. Top of your next inhale. Spread your fingers, palms can face the ceiling. Reverse your warrior. Right fingertips trace closer to your right ankle. As you exhale, go ahead and find a side angle pose. Left forearm rests against the thigh. Sweep your right arm straight up. Maybe start to find a diagonal shape. Right fingertips reach closer to the front. Feeling the side body engagement, can you start to lift your left forearm away from your thigh? And left arm meets the right. Here for an inhale, fingers draw forward, press the pinky edge of your right foot closer to the earth, and exhale. Ball your hands in a fist, bend your elbows in towards your ribs. Core is nice and strong. 2 more counts, inhale, reaching your arms out long, and exhale. 1 more count, inhale, arms reach towards the front, and exhale. Top of your next inhale, straighten out your front leg, reverse triangle. Right fingertips walk closer to the right ankle. As you exhale, let's go ahead and re-bend the front knee. Lift your back heel. Hands come down to either side of your left foot. Low lunge. In your low lunge, can you TP onto your fingertips? So hover your torso away from your left thigh. From here, plant your right hand to the ground in one line with your left toes. Inhale, sweep your left arm up to the sky for easy twist. Can you draw your right heel closer to the back? Go ahead and bend your left elbow, hand to the back of your head. As you exhale, close and look towards the earth. Inhale, opening up, finding this nice twist. Eyes look up to the ceiling. And exhale. 1 more count. Inhale, opening up to the ceiling. Heart opens up, nice and strong in your twist. And exhale. At the top of your next inhale, keep looking towards the top of your mat. Sweep your left arm forward. Arm is in a strong horizontal shape. Exhale, you can ball your hand into a fist. Bend your elbow in towards your left ribs. 2 more counts. Inhale, sweeping the fingers to the front, and exhale. Inhale, bring it all the way to the front, and exhale. Now, top of your next inhale, start to walk your right hand closer to the center of your mat. We're going to find that diagonal shape from our right wrist up to our right shoulder. Open up your first 3 fingers in your left hand. They're going to wrap around your left big toe. Can you start to pivot onto the pinky edge of your right foot? Play around with the lifting and lowering your left leg. Maybe as you exhale, you start to use your side body nice and strong and kick your left leg up towards the ceiling. So hand to big toe is an option. You can always fly your hand to your calf as well. And again, another option, you can always find tree pose with the legs. You can bend your left knee, plant your foot to your right calf. 1 count of breath. Inhale here to 1, 2, and exhale to 3, 2, 1. With control, re-bend in your left knee. Place your foot back to the front. Press both your hands down against the earth. We step back into our high plank pose. You are welcome to find an extended child's pose or maybe find another vinyasa. As you inhale, glide forward. Exhale, bend your elbows, lower half or all the way. Inhale, pulling your heart to the front, finding your cobra or up dog. And exhale, Sending your hips up and back into downward dog again. Take a deep breath in, rock forward and lower into a tabletop pose. Flip your fingers out in opposite directions. As you inhale, scoop your belly to the earth, heart and head, and look forward, finding your cow pose. As you exhale, round and fold, finding your cat. Inhale, tail up, belly to the earth, heart and head forward. And exhale, round and fold back into your cat pose. Top of your next inhale, walk your knees together to touch. Extend your left arm long, roll over onto your left hand side for fetal pose. Plant your right hand against the earth. Roll flat onto your back. Keep a bend to your knees. Point your toes out in opposite directions. We'll press weight into our feet and lift our hips for bridge pose. Maybe you start to lift one heel and the other in your bridge pose. And eventually plant both your heels back to the earth. Lower all the way down from the center of your back down to your sit bones. Bend your knees in towards your chest. You can find a ball pose. Lace your fingers across your shins. Forehead reaches towards the knees. Here for an inhale. As you exhale, unlace your fingers. Send your arms by your sides. Corpse pose, Shavasana. Release control to the breath. Allow yourself to grow heavy and take up space. You are welcome to remain resting in your corpse pose. If you are ready to be guided out, begin by moving your fingers and toes. And let that movement travel to your wrists and ankles. Now gently shake your head from side to side. And bring yourself back to stillness in the center. At the top of your next inhale, reach your right arm long. Bend your knees. Plant your feet against the earth. Roll over onto your right hand side. Plant your left hand against the ground, finding your fetal posture. And nudge yourself up into an easy seat, facing the front. We all land bent at the knees and crossed at the shins. Seated up tall, palms together to touch. Bow your chin towards your chest, sealing your practice. The light, the love in me, sees and honors the light, the love in each and every one of you. Namaste. Thank you all so much for joining me for your practice today. If you have any questions or requests, feel free to leave a comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you in the next video.